Hey everybody, welcome back to Church Talk. My name is Rob, and today we're going to be talking about 3 simple tips for small stage setups. All right, if you are in a small church, or if you're just on a small stage, maybe you're a growing church and you're growing out of your area, maybe you're growing out of your stage. Today we're talking about 3 easy things that they're simple. They may not be easy, but they're simple things, simple steps you can take to make a little bit more room on your stage without actually building that stage out. So, number 1, the placement of your drums and your drum enclosure. Now, when we built our stage, I say we actually didn't build it, it was just kind of moved. We went through a transformation. If you watch the very first video on the channel way back when I'm still learning how to do videos. I'm still learning how to edit. This is still new to me. But that very first video, I was kind of walking around the church. I didn't feel very good, so you'll hear my voice. I was sick those few first videos when I made my mind to start. Was showing the transformation of our church, where we went from being on the side of the church to being where the stage should be set. And when we done that, we moved the stage over. We made the decision to put the drums in the center just for aesthetics, and we should not have done that. We had a guy in the church, done a great job. He built a drum enclosure for us, and it's working, it's doing okay, but we're finding out that we should have done something different. We should have built the drum enclosure to where it was movable and we could put it to the center, to the side, to the other side. So we should have done something different. We put it in the center of the stage. It looks really nice. It gave us the knee walls that we needed to hide some equipment, but it limited how much depth we had for our singers. So when our singers are on stage and our pastor comes up to speak and we're still on stage with him, or people come up to give announcements and we're all on stage, there's not a lot. There's plenty of room. Don't get me wrong. There's room there, but there's not a lot of room. So many times in churches, especially like if you're a church like ours, during worship we can get excited. Our pastor can get excited as well if he comes on the platform and we're all up there and he's beginning to preach kind of hard, and then we're still there with him and we're singing and worshiping. Sometimes there's a lot of movement. And decent sized stages can get really small really quick when you start putting instrumentation, all these things on them. So on a small church, I would say your drum enclosure location and the position of that is crucial. What I've learned through this process is that now if you don't have a drum cage, you need one. So that's my first thing, is for small stage setups, a drum enclosure is a must. And with that, when it's enclosed and it's going through the system, it doesn't have to be center stage. We can put it off to the side in the corner as long as the drummer can see everything going on. And even in some cases, just off of the stage and put it angle it to the side to where the drummer can still see everybody. But the drums are a loud instrument, so we enclose them. I know some people will say, well, just get electronic kit. That's true too. If you like an electronic kit, my personal experience with electronic kits is I don't like them. I like the acoustic set, but that's just me, and my wife's a drummer and my son's a drummer, and they not a fan of the electronic kit. So if you're like us and you want the acoustic, definitely go with a good drum enclosure. You can set it off to the side so you have more depth on your stage. Tip number 2, I would say to remove all amps from your stage. So this will do a couple things. It's going to give you a little bit more space. They can be an eyesore, but they're also a space taker as well. So if you're standing there in a certain area, probably you don't want to be right beside of your amp, because if you are, all that sound is going right up underneath of you and you can't hear it near as well as anybody else can if that is your monitor. or if you have the amp turned around to where it is your monitor, now you've got that up there along with probably some wedges. So if you just remove all amps and go through some type of an amp simulator, and go through your foot pedals and things of that nature for your guitars, and it's going to be a whole lot quieter on stage. It's going to quiet that down. So it's going to give you a little bit more space as well, because more than likely if you're using an amp, you're using foot pedals as well, you're taking up a lot of real estate on a small stage. So if you remove that amplifier, then you've got that much more space where other things can be, or where you can actually move around a little bit, and it's not going to be loud on your platform. The third tip is very similar to the second, is remove all of your monitors. Remove those great big wedges from a small platform. Go ahead and make the switch over to in-ears if you're using wedges. Smaller platforms, smaller stages, when you have wedge monitors on it, there's so much sound coming back at you that it's difficult to mix properly, and you've got to be a certain distance away from that monitor before you're really going to hear well. And you're also going to get feedback problems from your microphones, because you're standing right up against those monitors and you keep saying, I need to hear more of me, and I need to hear more of this and more of that. And before you know it, there's feedback issues all over the place. You have to stand in a certain place. You can't move because you found the place where there's no feedback. And so now it's just, small stages can be difficult. Large stages have their difficulties too, but small stages seem to be so much more. So if you can remove your monitors, remove your guitar amps, and remove your drums over to the side and put an enclosure around them to where they're not so loud, you're going to create more space, and it's going to sound a whole lot better when, especially in a small church, you don't have those wedge monitors broadcasting that sound, pushing that sound back at you and bouncing back and being just delayed behind the mains. Your sound techs have a really difficult time in small churches with the wedge monitors. When I say small churches, I mean anywhere from 50 people to 300 people, small to mid-size. So remove the wedges, go with the in-ears. In-ears are a little bit, at first when you make that switch to an in-ear monitor, you're going to be like, I don't like these things at all. But once you get used to them, you will like them, you'll appreciate them. I have another video on switching over to in-ear monitors, so you can see that here. I'll put a link in the description to it as well. But guys, those are my 3 simple tips. Now there's a whole lot more that we can go into of how you can try to clean up your stage and make more room. But sometimes on stages we just don't have a lot of space, so we have to do what we can do to make more room. I will give a quick plug in here for a new guitar pedal that is on the market. You see it sitting here behind me. It's called the Imposter. This thing it's from Champion Effects. So this is one of the first ones that they made. It's actually a trial. But I have one of those on my pedal board. My son has one on his pedal board. It's a very good pedal from Champion Effects, and what it does, it gives you the effect of a tube amp without actually having the tube amp. So if you're one of those guys like, I really want my tube amp on stage, I don't want to go through a simulator because I can't get the tone, it doesn't sound like my tube amp, I want my tube amp. Well, this thing can help you out. So go to championfx.com and you can find one right there. They're not that expensive. I think they're like $150 or something like that. But go there and check out that company. And like I say, my son uses one every week. I don't play electric guitar that much anymore, but one is on my pedal board as well. So I would recommend them. I'll put a link to them in the description as well. Guys, hopefully this video has been some encouragement to you. Hopefully it's been valuable. If it has, make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe and the bell as well, so that you'll know when I upload new videos. And while you're at it, just go ahead and go down to the description and click on the robandjen.com link, and it'll take you to our website where you can see like the t-shirts that I'm wearing. This one is support your local church, our mugs and travel cups and things like that. So browse around on the website, see if there's something that you like. If you want to pick something up, it's there for you. And also, while you're there, we have a page on the website dedicated to affiliate links. Now you say, what are you talking about your affiliate links for? Well, because those are things that we normally use every single week. Some of them we don't use every week. You'll notice if you scroll down through there, we have the system that we're using, which I'm going to do a review of that X32 eventually coming up. But some of the things on there we have used weekly. Some of them we've used a little bit, but a lot of the things that we're using, I'm going to be doing reviews of all those. So I just put a list of what we're using and reviews on them, so that if you're looking for something on a budget, or you're looking for something for your church that has seemed to work well for others, those things are working well for us. So that's the reason I'm talking about that. So guys, we'll see you guys next time on Church Talk. Be blessed.